The five men who make up the Central Park Five, now calling themselves the Exonerated Five. They're suing the former president over his remarks during last month's debate. As a reminder, the Exonerated Five were a group of Black and Latino teenage boys wrongfully accused of raping a woman in New York Central Park in 1989. After hours of interrogation, they confessed but later retracted their statements, saying they were coerced. They pled not guilty but were ultimately convicted and served several years in prison. More than a decade later, DNA evidence and the confession of a convicted rapist proved their innocence. Today, now free and advocating for criminal justice reform, the group has filed a defamation lawsuit against Trump for these comments at his one and only debate with Vice President Harris.
They said they pled guilty. And I said, well, if they pled guilty, they badly hurt a person, killed a person ultimately. And if they pled guilty, then they pled, we're not guilty.
Okay, but all five had pleaded not guilty, and the victim of the attack, which was horrific, survived. Trump's comments on the case go back decades when he published this newspaper advertisement in New York's four main newspapers just days after the five boys' wrongful confessions in 1989 coerced confessions, saying, bring back the death penalty and, quote, they should be forced to suffer, and when they kill, they should be executed for their crimes. Joining me now is Shannon Spector, a trial lawyer who represents the Exonerated Five. Shannon, thank you for joining Top Story tonight. So do you have a case here, and what is your lawsuit about?
Well, thank you, Tom, for having me. And I could not express it better than you did at the top of this segment. On September 10th, in the debate with Vice President Harris, Donald Trump wrongly stated that these five men pled guilty. He wrongly stated that they killed the victim. Neither is true. And in fact, these five men have been thoroughly exonerated. The guilty person admitted guilt. His DNA was matched to the victim. He was convicted. He went to prison. These five men not only were exonerated, but the DA filed a motion with the court to have their convictions vacated. The judge signed that order. So there's no doubt that these men are not guilty. And Mr. Trump persists in this 35-year campaign of hate against these five men, even though he knows better. He knows now for over 20 years that these men are not guilty of that heinous crime.
The Trump campaign released a statement responding to your lawsuit, saying in part this is just another frivolous election interference lawsuit filed by desperate left-wing activists in an attempt to distract the American people from Kamala Harris's dangerously liberal agenda and failing campaign. One of the five appears in a radio ad, as you know, for the Harris campaign. Does that bolster the Trump campaign's claims that this is politically motivated?
No, Tom, it doesn't. I'm not here to talk about politics, about elections, or anything of the sort. We're seeking redress for these five men for being horrifically defamed in front of 67 million Americans during that debate. I think it's unfortunate that President Trump had his campaign spokesperson undertake that attack against these five men instead of having his lawyer respond and say whether the lawsuit is true or false.
Shannon, I want to ask you about that.
Courts.
What does the law say? Could Trump come out tomorrow and say, oh, you know what, I made a mistake. I was at the debate. I was under pressure. I simply misspoke. Would that be enough to drop this lawsuit, or that's not enough?
Tom, I don't know of any human being to whom Donald Trump has ever apologized. So I'm not holding my breath that he would apologize to these five men. But if he would do that, that would be fantastic. If he would issue a retraction, that would be fantastic. But I'm not holding my breath.
Yeah. Finally, the Exonerated Five received $41 million from New York City when they were cleared in 2002. As you have mentioned, these comments from former President Trump sort of make them have to relive what they went through when they were sitting in prison for a crime they didn't commit. What are your clients seeking now?
They're seeking to clear their names once again. This has all been dredged up again. They've been accused on national television to a huge audience of having pled guilty and having killed this woman. Neither of those things is true. They're seeking a trial to clear their names. They're seeking damages to compensate them for their loss of reputation and their emotional distress. And they're seeking to have an award of punitive damages against Mr. Trump to punish him and deter him from making these kinds of statements and taking this kind of conduct in the future.
Attorney Shannon Specter, we thank you for your time. We thank you for sitting down with us here tonight.